It's real good.
Good game. Yeah.
Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be talking about Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Krios.
And I'm Belle and I.
And we've got a lot to unpack, so let's get started. Getting right into it, we're going to start with the main storyline quest, otherwise known as the MSQ. Final Fantasy XIV does an excellent job at telling a narrative story from level 1 to level 80. For those of you new to MMOs, or coming from another MMO, effectively what this means is you're going to go from level 1 to 80 with a single story without interruption. It's a beautiful thing. You're not going to outlevel a zone, you're not going to get ahead of the narrative, you're not going to get to the point to where quests are giving you so little experience that it's not worth doing it anymore. One of my favorite things that Square Enix does is actually ties the dungeons into the story. Not 100% of the dungeons have a direct correlation with the story as you travel through it, but most of them do. It's actually very interesting being able to go into a dungeon and actually understand why you're there, or have a narrative reason to defeat the boss at the end of it. Along with the main storyline quests, Final Fantasy XIV also has job quests. These are otherwise known as class quests in another game if you're familiar with MMOs. These are going to tell a complete story based off your class, whether you're playing a paladin, a warrior, a ninja, a dragoon. Every time you level one of your alts in the game, there's always something new and refreshing to experience every couple of levels. This is not limited to the miners, to the botanist, the cook, the carpenter. You're going to have a full story content based off of those every couple of levels as well. And I can understand that some of you might not like that because, hey, I want to level my mining, I want to go out into the wilderness, I want to hit rocks and gain levels, and I don't want to go back to town to hear a story about why I'm the best rock breaker in the world. It's for some folks, it might not be for you, and you can skip all the dialogue and cutscenes if you so choose. Alright, so I can already hear you now. Krios, look, I need to play Final Fantasy XIV. I gotta play it, but here's the thing. I'm not gonna play a cat girl. And all my adult male friends that also play this game at work that are trying to get me into this game, they all play cat girls. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. They've been lying to you. There's actually about 8 characters in the game. You got all kinds. Let me tell you, you got your normal vanilla person, just a standard bipedal. You got your tall bipedals, your small bipedals, your cat bipedals, thick bipedals. You got your edgy bipedals. You got your cat Mark II. These are the upgraded bipedal cats straight off the shelf. You got your others. They're made out of bunny. Now, Krios, I sure do appreciate you going through all those bipedal options for me, but I think I've decided to have an extended stay in horny jail. Well, I completely understand, because that's what 90% of you are going to pick anyway. So let's quickly go through these character customization options. Starting from the top, we have height, bust size, skin color, tail shape, tail length, hairstyle, hair color, face, jaw, eye shape, iris size, eye color, eyebrows, nose, mouth, lip color, facial features, tattoos, tattoo color, face paint color, and voice. Whew. Bringing it back down, we actually do have an excellent character customization in this game. You can make your character look damn near whatever you want. If you ever do decide to break out of horny jail, you can later in the game for free get what's called a file of Fantasia. That's going to allow you to completely change the race or sex of your character. It's completely free, and I believe in the MSQ you actually get a couple of them. Next, I want to talk about UI customization, but first I want to preface that with the expectation of UI customization. Having played WoW for years and then coming to this game, when I first came into this game, my expectation was I should be able to download add-ons, I should be able to download map resources, I should be able to download Bartender, and adjust everything through third-party accessories, but that is not the case in Final Fantasy XIV. Simply put, you don't need an excess of add-ons or third-party software to make Final Fantasy XIV feel natural. Square Enix is competent enough to put that in the base game. HD Layout, for example, has all the access and resources a bartender would have, moving your mini-map, your hotbars, etc. You also have HUD profiles. For example, HUD 1 here allows me to basically play any DPS or tank class. But if I switch over to HUD 2, this is actually my healer class. I move my party list over here, and I don't have any issues with that because everything is saved and stored in-game. Additionally, you won't need any third-party accessories to feel like you can navigate the market successfully. The in-game market board allows you to go through intuitively and purchase or sell things and not make you want to beat your head against the wall. Right now I'm on my level 70 Dark Knight. If I wanted to purchase, say, a helmet for my level 70 Dark Knight, I can simply click on that. See that this is the highest item level for my Dark Knight. Click on that and purchase the cheapest one on the market. The last thing I thought I was going to want add-ons for was combat help. But after playing through all 3 expansions plus the vanilla game, I realized that I don't actually need that. Everything is intuitively displayed on the screen in the base game, whether it's a telegraph on the ground or a telegraph by the boss itself. I've never found myself in combat needing external help to figure out how to play the game. Final Fantasy XIV doesn't have a traditional class system like you would expect in most MMOs. Actually, in this game you have what's called a job. Now, your jobs in Final Fantasy XIV is the class that you are playing, whether it's my level 10 Pugilist here, or what I'm currently playing, which is my level 70 Dark Knight. Switching jobs in Final Fantasy XIV is relatively easy. It's as simple as taking your main hand weapon and swapping it with that of a weapon from another job. Doing that, though, is going to make you naked. So what you're going to want to really do is create gear set lists. This is going to keep up with your armor sets on all of your classes, whether it's a Disciple of War, Magic, Land, or Hand. Once you have your gear set created for a specific class, it's as simple as grabbing it and dragging it over, and there you have a placeholder button, and you can put anywhere on your action bars. Belle and I have put together a quick demonstration on how to simply switch through your jobs. Early level combat in Final Fantasy XIV can seem a little slow and monotonous. This comes with their 2.5 second global cooldown system. In late game, you will get a lot of new abilities on the global cooldown and off. Most classes that I've played I see begin to ramp up with fun gameplay around the 40 to 50 range. By the time you make it to level 80, you'll find yourself with a large arsenal of abilities to choose from. Some classes I've seen in late game have up to 10 and 20 that you'll be cycling through in any given boss fight. Square Enix has done an excellent job in creating a gameplay feedback loop that is satisfying. So if the early game seems a little too slow for you, understand that the late game is going to have all you need in terms of fast-paced, high-action combat. We are finally to community. This is something I'm sure you've already heard of for Final Fantasy XIV. This community is one of the most patient, loving, and unique communities I've ever been a part of. But why is that? Final Fantasy XIV doesn't have a mutually exclusive fan base that's never played any other game. In fact, I'm willing to bet that 80% of the community actually came from WoW, League of Legends, Rocket League, Overwatch. All communities known for their high levels of toxicity. I believe it's because Final Fantasy XIV respects your time as a player. When you log into the game, you're not in a big hurry to get to endgame to play with your friends, because they can play with you with level syncing in dungeons every step of the way through your main storyline content. Veterans are having fun with Final Fantasy XIV. They remember what it was like when they first logged into the game, and they remember what it was like when they first experienced the story, the dungeons, the scenery, and the magic that Eorzea has to offer you. I think I speak for everybody when I say that we want you to experience the game the same way we did. The laughs, the cries, the anger, the frustration. And the only way we can do that is to be open-minded and welcoming and loving to the new community. Enjoy your stay in Eorzea.